You'll never find a love like mine. Welcome back to the channel. This is LeBron J. If you haven't already, definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so you can see when my videos are coming out. I wanted to touch on this, man, because I've been really talking about this. I'm like one of the only one that's talk about these super teams. Maybe like Black and White Sports or shout out to Sports Wars. I don't know, but I'm the only one talking about this. I feel like this era of empowerment can destroy a league. Now, the individuals is getting their money. Yes, they are. We all know Michael Jordan was underpaid until his last 2 years of his career, but guess what? He got his money on the back end. He got his money. He's a billionaire. Um, Scottie Pippen was another guy who was disgruntled, but it was his fault. He could have signed a bigger contract if he'd have just waited. See, that's the key word, wait. So Adam Silver bold super team claims on the Cavs that won't please LeBron James or Kevin Durant. It really won't. See, LeBron James started this super team. Hold up, wait a minute. Something ain't right. Don't leave this channel yet. Because just let me explain. Let me explain for all you LeBron sexuals out there. Um, LeBron. Now we all know that super teams was built beforehand, for years, but it was always through a trade. Now, shout out to Oscar Robertson. Oscar Robertson was the reason why we have free agency in the league. So I think the free agency market gives it a balance because if you don't want to play for a certain team, you don't have to, once your contract is up. So that gives you some power and validity. And so LeBron James, he had an opportunity to leave in, was it 2011? I think it was a lockout year, I believe. I can't remember. Right, it was a long time ago, obviously, but he had an opportunity to leave, and he chose to leave, and it messed it up for a lot of people. First off, it messed up the economy in Cleveland, which he loves his city, and he felt uncomfortable anyway because they felt like he was a sellout in his neighborhood. I'm talking about African Americans. They felt like he was a sellout, right? And he because and this is why I say that because he was playing for a Catholic team, and millions of dollars was going to this Catholic team. They pretty much, I would say, exploited him. They had him playing in a arena. Imagine he's playing in a college arena and he's in 10th grade. And so a lot of African Americans say, "Look, you live in the hood. Why don't you just play for a school in that neighborhood so the money could have been generating?" So he felt some kind of way about that. And Cleveland, which a lot of people say contrary to people's belief, but they said he didn't get any help there, and that's not true. I was sitting there watching the game, a couple games uh, a while ago, not even a while ago, but a couple weeks ago, and I'm watching the game, and it looked like he got help. It looked like he didn't score 100 points on his own. It looked like he didn't get 40 rebounds and 20 assists on his own. And in key moments, he was passing the ball to Larry Hughes and other players on his team, and they was helping. So I feel like that's an insult when you sit there and say he didn't have help. He did have help. Now, in back in the day, and even now, all you need is two superstars to win a championship. You need at least two. Everybody else can be role players. It's a luxury to have three people on a team, and sometimes that don't even work. So shout out to um, Milwaukee. They have a really good team, and they have what's his name? They have Middleton and they have Giannis, and they won the championship. Um, you know, Shout out to Golden State because their team was built organically, the same way Cleveland is being built right now. And that lasts longer than someone just trying to jump on it and get a championship and leave. You know, uh, I think that's ignorant. I think that's poor form because LeBron wasn't hurting for money. He's getting paid in Cleveland. He got shoe deals. He had $100 million coming to the league for Nike. So it wasn't that. It was his self-esteem because he felt like they chose him. He was the chosen one, so he has to win. And he was hearing the same things at what year 7 and 8 that Michael Jordan was hearing. But Michael Jordan, because I'm only using this comparison because everybody want to compare Michael Jordan into with LeBron James, which is not a comparison. They played at different eras. They played differently. Um, we just feel that from what we saw Michael Jordan do, that he's a goat. Now, most people who are not Generation X and the people, old people, they think Wilt Chamberlain or someone else like that is the best. But I'm talking about what we saw, and we think he's the best. The people who played against Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James, those is the ones who we should listen to because they played against all three, and most of them, maybe all of them, say that Michael Jordan is the best. Even Dwayne Wade, which is best friends with LeBron James, it's just what it is. But it's subjective. You never hear Michael Jordan say he's the best. He said it makes him cringe because respectfully, you're disrespecting the people before you when you have these arguments because they never had a chance to play against you and they dominate their era. So it is a disrespect with that. So let me get back to the topic here. Now, according to Cavs Nation, Adam Silver bold super team claim on Cavs that won't please LeBron James and Kevin Durant. The Cavaliers are becoming one of the best teams in the NBA now. Now I gotta watch because this is the Cavs saying this, but the Cavs are pretty good right now. They are improving. They have some young stars. After a disappointing 2020 season, they're bounced back thanks to all-star performances from homegrown talent and some recent acquisitions. It led many people to drop hot takes about them. Now, Count NBA Commissioner Adam Silver is one of the Cavs' biggest fans in an interview prior to the All-Star weekend. And basically, Silver lauded the team for being the right way of building a super team, whatever that means. Now I'm gonna go to the actual um, thing where they got this from. So fadeaway world. So this is what I'm saying. So I want is the best way to grow a team is let the team build. Through picks, free agency, obviously, and draft picks. Now, if you want to win now, you got to get in the NBA. NBA draft really don't matter if you're trying to win now. So you do have to get some people that's already established on the team. But when you sit there and try to get 3, 4, 5, you're building the whole roster. That's when you mess the balance of the NBA. It's not the best interest of the NBA. It may be the best interest of the player, but even still, it's not the best interest of the player because they're not winning. Because most of the time, these guys who construct these teams are horrible GMs. Case in point, LeBron James. He could have had the DeMar Rosen, which right now Lamar Rosen is the top 3 NBA player today. And you pick Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is a great player. Yes, he is, but he's not a winner. He's not a team player. He's about himself. I call him the AI syndrome. He can drop 40, but you ain't going to win. You're not going to win. Then you have Kevin Durant, which is another one who's trying to construct the team. And you already knew about James Harden. You knew he's a quitter. He quit on you when you was at OKC, but you got him again. That's your fault. What they say? They say, shame on you the first time, shame on me the second time. It's your fault. You put this team together and y'all ain't winning. So this is what Adam Silver said. The term super team can have a positive connotation. It can have a negative one. Silver told 3 News. Jim Donovan, ahead of the upcoming NBA All Star weekend in Cleveland. The negative one is where you have players come together for a sole purpose of winning a championship, particularly later in their career. And I think, on the other hand, you have super teams. Now, see the difference when you in your prime, opposed to when you're older and you can't do what you used to do. You can't be the star. That's different. And I think Cleveland is becoming one where they're constructed in just the right way. We're there where there's a recognition that this is a team sport, that in order to truly win championships, to compete on a high level, all those players have to come together in a sort of feed off each other. And I totally agree with that. I totally agree. And they have some young stars that are amazing right now. Like I really believe that the best way to build a team, a winning culture, is just letting it be organically. Now there, now I'm gonna do a little pushback. There are certain teams that don't care about growing because they're going to get money anyway. So you have to stay away from those organizations, obviously. And in those situations, I will say, as soon as you get a chance, get out of there, and maybe they'll wake up and try to build on it. Maybe they'll wake up and try to change. But when you have these organizations that people are going to support regardless, the owner really don't care because he just care about money and the bottom line. So if he's still getting the surplus, um, despite the fact that they're taking these games, he's not going to care. So I'm not going to talk about those organizations. But if you feel like you got a good organization, stick and stay. LeBron James should have stick and stayed, man, with Cleveland. And this is what I like to say, and I always say this on my videos. When you were born, you are competing with whoever was born on your era for the rest of your life. They're the ones who's going to be, getting your jobs. Um, and if you're playing sports, if you ever read the book Outliers, you're going to compete with these players. See, the NBA and NFL and baseball, if you're good enough and you're playing the AAU circuit, you're going to see the top players that's going to be there when you retire, you know, depending on how long you play. So, case in point, Kobe Bryant used to play with Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady in high school. They all knew each other. And then, so when you're looking at someone older than you, right? They're going to get old because here's the thing: they're above you because they're in ninth, 10th, 12th grade, and you're in ninth grade. But by the time you be in 12th grade, yeah, they're going to still peak. But once they get into the league around 30 years old, this is when you pass them because they're going down. When they hit 30, they're going down with athleticism, and that's when you pass them up. Case in point, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan stuck it out and he was losing to get to older people than he was. And then once they got old, he started beating them. He started beating the Pistons. They started getting old and getting hurt. Um, Boston, Larry Bird, they started getting hurt. Um, Michael Magic Johnson, his situation. Kareem was done. Kareem was pretty much done in '84. He had a good year in '87 or '86. I can't remember which year. No, '84. He had a good year. That's when they won a championship, I think. And he wasn't the same player after that. So they had to go to Magic and say, "Look, you got to take over the team." And once they got to the '89, they were old. They were old, and Michael took over. And the same thing happened in '98. Michael Jordan was getting old. If he'd have played another year, they wouldn't have won. They barely got past Indiana Pacers. And then your group goes. Then that's when the Lakers, with young Kobe Bryant. So that's what I'm saying, and I'll leave it at that. Um, Super teams are bad. I do believe in player empowerment. Make you'll make your money regardless. You can't worry about as far as the media saying you're not a great player because that's what happened with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant saw um, LeBron do it, and he said, "I'm going to do it too." Then you know, because Kevin Durant's a diva. But now, leave you with that. Leave your comments below. Tell me what you think about the super team era. Do you think it's messed up? Do you think it should go back the other way? Not saying that they can't leave their team, but when they're deliberately trying to make these super teams to win a few championships and then leave, do you like that way, or do you like the old way of basketball where the team is building organically and there's a balance of power in every team that has a star? Let me know, and I'll see you on the next video.